Hi everyone, today I'd like to show you how to build my brand new cook stove for hours and hours of endless heat. Very inexpensive to use, to build, and it's all wood parts you can get at your local stores. And best of all, you can cook on it and even make coffee. So great if you have a power shortage in your home. You could heat up a room really fast. You could heat up your garage, your greenhouse, or my favorite, take it ice fishing with you because it's all containable in one bucket. So let's get started and I'll show you how to build one now. Okay, let's go ahead and get started in building one. Here's all the things you need to get together first. A 1 gallon paint can, and if you notice there is no wrapper on this. I bought it from actually the paint store. Tell them I wanted a completely blank one. Now this one seems to have a protective coating on the inside. But if you can get one that's metal all the way around, that would be even better because you don't want to have to burn something off. The first time I lit my other one that you saw in the introduction, I burnt it outside. So that way if there are any fumes, they'll burn off out there. So you want to get a clean 1 gallon paint can. You want to get a clean 1 quart paint can with the covers. And you're going to need to get one of the most important things, where to go, a roll of toilet paper. We're going to use this for the wick. And we'll talk about this later, but denatured alcohol. And I'll tell you why we're going to need that. And then just some things to move it around. I have a funnel over here. Big funnel, because I don't have a small one. I have a little scoop. Oh, and some sand. Okay, you're going to need some sand. And that's pretty much it. And if you want to use this for a stove, you'll need to get 3 things to hold the stove lid up. I think you're probably better off using like maybe some brass pipes, the height that you want. These are just things that I had here in the shop so I could show you how it works. So the first step is your wick, which will be the toilet paper, is going to be inside this can. Now this is going to be so hot to touch, we need to make it so you don't get burnt. And that's where this comes in. We take the 1 gallon, it's going to go inside, excuse me, the 1 quart, it's going to go inside the 1 gallon. So there's a wall around it with the sand in between the two. So when this heats up, the heat's going to go into the sand and it's going to create even more heat. The sand will help to store the heat, kind of like rocks do on the inside of a greenhouse when the sun hits it, or big water barrels. Even when the sun goes down, it stays warm for a while. So that's the whole idea. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we're going to fill up the bottom of this with sand. So this kind of sits on the sand, but maybe just a little bit, half an inch below the top. Why? Because we're going to want to put this cover on. And when it's on there, we're going to put the cover on top of this one. And it needs to be able to close. Because when everything is all done, all you need to have is this. You close it. Put it in storage. It's there for whenever you want to use it. You just open it up and light it up. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to get some sand over here. I have a paper down here on top of the table just because it gets sand everywhere. A little bit more. And let's see if that's enough yet. See what I'm doing is put sand in there. I'll put this in here. And yeah, actually if I level it out, I think it's just going to about fit. There we go. Now, before I go any further with the sand, I made another one. The one you saw in the beginning, I made that one probably about an hour ago so I could show you how it works. The problem I had is I just stuck this in and I didn't put the toilet paper wick in first. And it makes it a lot more difficult. So you want to put that in before you put it in there. So you take the toilet paper roll and take the center out of it. Now this is probably going to be way too much toilet paper because as you can see how big the roll is and how big the can is, okay? We're going to get one to fit in the other. So if it's too big a roll, you'll have to unroll some of it. I actually unrolled some of it earlier and there was a hole left in the middle, so I made a wick inside of a wick with it. Pretty wicky, huh? So now this has to fit in there. You see how I took the wick out and it's all soft? So what you need to do is try to mold it around so you can get it small enough to fit in here, which is probably going to be a treat. Fun to do. Okay, is this too much? So what am I going to do for it? I am going to take this off, and here we go. And they're off at the race. What a way to waste toilet paper, huh? Let's see, maybe I could use this for something, soaking up mess around the office. Okay. A little bit more. Now I think this is a great item, especially up here in Maine. We lose electricity a lot in the winter, especially because of snowstorms. And I've been caught unprepared a few times where I couldn't find candles, couldn't find a flashlight, and then again, you don't have heat because everything here is electric heat. So I had no heat, and this would have been great to have then. So now I'm going to have a couple of them. Also, it's going to be great for when I go ice fishing. I bring my little shack with me, but with this, I can actually catch a fish, put them in the, clean them, put them in the pan, and have my dinner right out there. This will even work great on a boat if I have to. Okay, see how that fits right in there? There we go. I'm going to open it up a little bit more. Ta-da! So we got this done. It's going to go in here. I'm going to put the cover on it first because I'm going to be putting sand around it. And I don't want sand to get inside the wick. So you kind of center this as much as you can. Okay, so now when I put the cover on, where's the cover? Oh, it's already on there. When I put this cover on top, you see it'll still be able to close. So now we've got to get sand going all the way around the edges. Try to get it as centered as you could. I live pretty close to the ocean up here in Maine. We're probably 5 miles from the ocean, but this beach sand is probably the closest I get to actually being on the beach. You think we take advantage of it, but we really don't. In the summertime, I do most of my fishing in lakes and rivers, not so much the ocean. Okay, it's getting pretty high up there. See how that's getting? And you tuck it in with your fingers a little bit. And I'm going to make it tight so it doesn't move. So I'm going to go like this here again. A little bit. You can see it's pretty simple to do. You can make this a project with the kids. They'll have a lot of fun tucking it in for you. I like to pack it in pretty good. Don't worry about putting too much. You can just dump it out. That's the beautiful thing about working in the garage like this. If I make a mess, my wife doesn't tell me to do the dishes. Okay, it's getting tight now, and you can see that's not moving. So the next part is to get everything off the lid as much as possible, and you want to clean off the ridges. Now I like to keep the sand about probably a ½ an inch below the lid, so that way in moving it around you're not knocking things all over the place. I'll probably take some of that out. Okay, now if you pack it in tight enough, I found that instead of just brushing it all off, you can actually tilt it and brush it right off the table, onto the table. See how that's coming out pretty good? So clean out the lid. When I did the first one, I didn't have a brush of any kind, so I ended up having to do this with a set of needle nose pliers. And then I went upstairs and I was going to take a brush up there, but my wife said, hey, that's my toothbrush. Oh, so she didn't want to use it again afterwards. So I said, well, I need to find something that's not her toothbrush. So I got her eyebrow. Shh, don't tell her. All right, so I'm cleaning this off. You want to try to get as much as you can because otherwise it's going to go into the wick. Now what I'm going to do just to see how it is, I need, let's see, I had a washer here earlier. I'll use this for right now, just so I can get, well, it's not centered either anymore. So this one got a little bit off center, so you can just move it around if you want. The more center you get it, the better. And what I'm going to do is try to take the top off. There we go. And get the remaining sand off this way. See, it's coming out pretty clean. Hoping you're able to see what I'm doing here. So not only are they great to use, but it's actually kind of a relaxing project to build. Come on, get out of there. There we go. And I got a lot more in the outer one, which I'll get rid of now. Now the last part, come on, get out of there. The last part is to fill in the wick, okay? And how do I do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. What we're going to do is use this denatured alcohol as the accelerant. Now this here, you can use rubbing alcohol, and they have what I think like a 70 and a 90%, but that's going to cause basically vapors. It's not good to breathe. It's probably going to set off the smoke detector. So this is 100% pure alcohol. And as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but right here, it shows 3 different things over here. I'll show you that so you can see what it looks like. And it says, the first one is for marine stoves, alcohol burning appliances, or clean, and it says clean, odorless, smokeless flame. So that's why we're using this stuff. It's the good stuff, as they say. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to taking the funnel, and I'm making a hole right in the middle. See, I want to get the hole down there. Pushing it down, and I'm going to pour this in slowly. And at first I'm going to put it in quickly so it fills up a bit, but you don't want to go too high up here because you'll probably have a mess trying to get it all out. It soaks in slow because of all the toilet paper, but it'll soak all the way in. I know you can't see me talk. Okay, it's getting there. Oops. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Matter of fact, a little bit more. Like I said, this thing is going to burn for a long time. It's soaking and soaking and soaking. I'm going to let it settle in a little bit, soak in before I put too much more. Let's see how. Now the sand I'm using, I just got this sand. It's a bag of sand I got from Home Depot. This is kind of wet. The drier the sand you can get, the better, but hey, it was outdoors and it was raining, so I don't know if it's always wet or if it was wet just because of that. So that's where I got the sand. I got the buckets actually. One of them I got, the 1 gallon I got at Home Depot also. I couldn't find the 1 quart there, And online they were pretty expensive, but you know the best place to get it? Sherwin-Williams. I was thinking, where can I get it? And I heard that song, Ask Sherwin-Williams. And I went back and I got 2 of the quart ones and another gallon, because the gallon one was actually a better price there too. I think the small ones were like $4.50, and I think the big one was like $9. So it's not very expensive. $4 for the inside, $9 for the outside. You do the math and put it in the description so other people can see. It was, I believe, $5 for the sand. And the only expensive part was this stuff here, which I also got at Home Depot, but you can get it pretty much anywhere, hardware store. That was, I think it was like $15 or $20. But I made 2 of them with it. How are we doing with this? You can see it's not there anymore, so I'm going to put a little bit more and call it quits. Whoops. You want to be careful going in because you don't want this to overflow and go on the outside. You want to keep the flame on the inside. Okay. And you see how I said, use this for something else later? All right. And what I did before was, I guess I don't really have to, is I actually went in there and put some of this right in the middle. But this one's doing a little bit better. See how that looks? Okay, so now I have it all set up. It's safe. When the flame comes out, it'll heat up the inside can, it'll heat up some of the sand, but this is still going to be cool to the touch, okay? I don't suggest you pick it up. And when you're done using it, you can cover this up. The reason being, my wife let me know she uses the denatured alcohol a lot in makeup, and she says it evaporates really fast. So I put the cover on there, and this cover is going to go on top, and it's all set to store. Now, another thing I like to do, you can take a washer and tape it to the top. Now, I'm going to give you the reason why and a warning. Something that I did outside. You're going to love this. So you take the washer and you just tape it to the inside, top of the cover. So that way, if this is closed really good and you can't get it open, you take the washer and you just get it underneath here and you can pry the can right open. Especially if your lights went out, you're getting cold, you need this, or you're outside fishing, you don't have a screwdriver, you're looking for your nut, it's right there. Now, this washer here, it's interesting. See, why is it like that on the back? Well, remember I told you you can use this as a stove as well? Here we go. With a stove, I'd probably get a few brass rods, but I'm just using these just to show you how to do it. Okay, so you would stick 3 of these in here. All right, and you take the cover and put it, there we go, put it like this here. And you can use that to make sure they're even and all the way down the bottom. You can use that to heat up water, to cook, for a little frying pan. And actually the heat hits it, kind of comes out a little bit, so it's nice for your hands if you're someplace where you're really cold and want to warm up right away. So that's pretty much it. Now, one of the biggest questions I get is how do you put it out? Well, I've been told you can go like this and blow it out sideways. Don't do that when you just filled it. I tried it outside and I almost blew my face off, okay? Boom, it went like crazy. So let me show you how you do it. Let's get the flame. I had already started the other one, but I'll go ahead and show you with this one too. Okay, be careful lighting it. There we go. See the flame? Matter of fact, I brought my thing out here to show you the difference in heat. So anyways, it's heating up. That's going to, and see, this is how I melted the other one, by the way. Whoops. Use gloves, that gets really hot. But don't leave the quarter on top. Okay. So there you go. So you would get that going, and I'm going to measure the difference in heat between here and the top, just so you can see, just in a matter of a few minutes. But to take it apart, I'm going to want to use gloves, okay? Now it's important to have, as you can see, a fire extinguisher. I have a smoke detector up there, carbon monoxide detector, okay? Read the instructions behind the denatured alcohol. Don't take my word for it. I think it burns clean, but it gives you all the instructions and everything you need to know right behind there. Okay, so right now, the can itself is 55, okay? It's cold because of the sand. Yeah, still 55. Yeah, locked it in. You can see that, right? So let's go up here just to show you how hot that's getting. Ooh, 111 so far. They just started. And the top of the can, bottom was 55 like it still is. The top of the can, see, it's not too hot. That's 66. So it's putting off some heat. 125 right now, 123, there we go, 122. Okay, can you see that? So it gets hot pretty fast. I did it outside for about 20 minutes and it was really nice. So again, how do you shut it off? Well, first thing I want to do is, let's see, I got to find a safe place to put everything down. Take this off with gloves, put it off to the side. Okay, take these things out. I'll put them right on the sand. And then you simply take the cover and put it on. And that's going to suffocate the fire in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Actually, it's been out for a while now. It's out. So the beauty of this, excuse me, is you can now cover, well, I'm not going to do it right now, but you can cover the inside. I'm going to wait for it to cool off. Cover the outside. And here's the other one I made. Everything you need is in this nice, tidy package. All I need to do with this one is get the old washer that I glued. Where did I put that? Actually, there it is, right here. Take the old washer and tape it right onto the top. So now it's ready for me to burn it again. So this, like I said, can be great for heating up your house. Endless hours of nice heat. I mean, this is going to heat up your room really quick and keep you warm. I don't know, probably the whole night. But I just wanted you to see this. I hope you enjoyed it. And give me your comments how you think you can make it work better. If you've tried it, if you have any ideas that are similar, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.